has a gun. My florist has a gun.
That scene from the movie Miss Congeniality has truth to it. Want to buy a gun in Texas? It's easy. No Texas restrictions. Just a federal background check. In 3 days, you can get a gun. California has lots of restrictions, like waiting periods, an assault weapons ban. After the recent school shooting in Connecticut, California politicians proposed more rules. They want to make hundreds of thousands of previously legal guns illegal, and their owners would have to give them to the government. By contrast, in Texas, some politicians want to make it easier for teachers to carry guns in schools. What a terrible idea, says California State Senator Leland Yee. He joins us from San Francisco. Welcome. Also,
Thank you for having me, John.
Thank you. From Texas, Susanna Hupp, who likes the idea of teachers packing heat. So, Susanna, why?
I guess you could probably say because of my background. I know what it's like to be in a defenseless situation with a crazed shooter that's just there to execute people. Look, lawyers can protect themselves on the job. Teachers or chiropractors can protect themselves on the jobs. Why can't our teachers protect themselves on the job? They're being treated like second-class citizens.
And let's review your background about this. Years ago, you were in a Luby's restaurant when a gunman came in and killed your mom and dad. And that made you want...
Well, killed 23 people. That was the first real mass shooting in this country back in 1991.
That would make a lot of people say, I want tougher gun laws. But you say the opposite. And you've written the book, From Luby's to the Legislature, One Woman's Fight Against Gun Control.
Yes,
so
sir.
Explain your reasoning.
At that time in the state of Texas, you couldn't get a concealed carry permit. They didn't exist. So I began leaving my gun in my car very dutifully, and my parents and I were having lunch. A madman drove his truck through the window and began executing people. And I got to tell you, I can't begin to tell you what it's like to be like a fish in a barrel waiting for it to be your turn. The only thing that the gun laws did was prevent me and some others in that restaurant from being able to protect ourselves and our families.
So, Mr. Yee, I assume you strongly disagree with this. Make your case.
I used to work in the school as a psychologist, and I will tell you, I don't know of any teacher or administrator that wants to carry a gun into a classroom, into a school. You know, if you start doing that with schools, then why not look at supermarkets? Why don't we look at hospitals where there's been some gun plays there?
Fine, let them all have guns.
That's not the way. That's not the way in which we want to operate in our society here in California. You know, we're about educating kids. We're not telling kids to go and pack guns and shoot them up if someone comes into your schools.
Susanna?
We're not talking about the children being able to carry weapons. We're talking about the people that can already carry weapons in the supermarkets, as he said. All we're talking about doing is allowing them to carry in a school. But what is the lesson that we adults are saying to kids? That when you are a child and you grow up, to solve your problem, carry a gun. And that is not the life lesson we ought to be teaching children.
Well, that's what the police
we have
do.
Is too violent already.
The police carry guns.
Is not a guarantee.
And that's fine. Police ought to carry guns. They are there to protect the people of California.
California has all these gun restrictions, but there are more murders in California per capita than Texas. The gun laws don't work.
No, that's absolutely not true. You know, studies upon studies have demonstrated that the states that have jurisdictions that have the toughest gun laws are the ones that are the safest per capita.
That's nonsense.
That's just indisputable.
That is not true. That is absolutely wrong.
Chicago, Washington, D.C., look at California cities like Oakland.
All I'm saying is per capita. When you look at the per capita data, that it is absolutely true that jurisdictions with the toughest gun control are, in fact, the safest. I mean, the reality in California
Oakland has the
is that we have
sixth highest murder rate in the nation. Stockton, the 11th highest murder rate. Hang on, Suzanne. I just want to contradict what seems to be going against the fact. How do you explain Stockton per capita and Oakland, the highest murder rate, among the highest murder rates in the nation?
No, what I'm saying is that if you look at the entire state, if you look at the entire jurisdiction, that's what we're talking about. You can't look at, specific, individual cities across.
Susanna?
I'd like to ask Mr. Yee a question. Mr. Yee, can you name one single place in the United States where one of these mass shootings has occurred where guns were allowed? Because if guns are the problem, why haven't we seen these mass shootings at the dreaded gun show that you all are trying to make illegal, or NRA conventions?
Look,
if guns are the problem,
let me tell you.
You're talking about places where there are thousands of guns in the hands of law-abiding citizens. Yet we only see these mass shootings at places where guns are not allowed.
There were armed guards there, and that did not stop those young individuals from coming into Columbine and shooting and slaughtering individuals.
What
That's
did
all I'm
stop
saying.
them?
That
Mr. Yee, what
just
did
having a
stop them?
gun is not going to stop all these other individuals coming into a school, coming into a playground, and shooting our children. We've got to look at other ways of dealing with this particular problem.
In Texas, we already have several schools where the administrators, you mentioned earlier that no teachers and no administrators would want to carry. On the contrary, we have several teachers and administrators that already do carry in some school districts.
I think
the law in Texas allows the district to make its own decision.
You're always going to find one or two administrators here and there. But overall, when you ask the question, teachers, do you want to pack guns going into your classroom? The answer resoundingly is no. No teacher goes to
politicians don't have to get involved.
To be a teacher to say, I'm going to be carrying a gun.
If the teacher doesn't want to, nobody's forcing teachers to carry a gun. Why do you politicians have to get involved and say the teacher who wants to thinks it makes her safer, she may not?
No. If you happen to be a teacher and you go and purchase a gun and you want to go through the background checks and so on, ultimately you're going to have a gun.
And you can have it in school in California? It's okay with you?
No, absolutely not. You're not going to carry a gun in the school. We don't allow students to carry guns. Why are we going to let teachers carry guns?
You're making it a killing zone. Mr. Yee, you're making them killing zones.
Schools are a gun-free zone. We're not there to teach kids how to shoot them up.
Yeah, and that's exactly where bad guys go, where they want to rack up a big body bag count, is the gun-free zone.